This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast, or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Welcome to the Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Rich Frederick. I have Chris Balvans and Samuel Frederick with me tonight. We are at Bishop McGuinness High School for this OSSAA 5A playoff round 2 match between the Elgin Lady Owls and the Bishop McGuinness Lady Irish. The Elgin Lady Owls beat Carl Albert in the first round 2-1 in extra time. The Bishop McGuinness Lady Irish beat MacArthur, the Lady Highlanders, 6-0, I believe it was, in the first round. So we got Samuel on the camera here. He's going to do the best he can. Chris Balvans is going to be on the mic with me. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Rich. Thanks for having me.
All right. What do you think about this Lady Owls team and where they're coming from? So let's talk about the difference between last year to this year and where they've come throughout the season this year.
So obviously with any good school team, regardless of what the sport openly is, you deal a lot with the constant transition between the seniors leaving and those upperclassmen kind of rotating out, and then you've got those lowerclassmen coming in. And they picked up quite a few freshmen this year. They've really stepped up their game. They got a couple sophomores that are a little more seasoned, a little bit more used to the speed of play when it comes to high school ball compared to club ball. As far as where they've come, they've definitely, I think, turned 180 degrees compared to last season. Not really sure about their record last year.
So they were second to last in their district last year. So it wasn't really good for them last year, you know. They haven't seen a playoff match since 2019. So to be here tonight, honestly, you know, is a testament to great work ethic with the kids.
Absolutely.
And the coaches is my thought. And you got freshmen like Annalise Perez that come up, and she plays at a high level in club ball. And Annalise, from what I've seen, I've only seen a couple of their matches this year. She provides a lot to the team.
Yeah, she does. She has great vision on the field, coming out of the midfield. She is a utility player. She can play deeper in the defense. She can play higher in the offense. So she kind of gets moved around a lot, which speaks volumes to her capabilities as both a school and club player, both on and off the pitch. I really, really look forward to seeing, like you said, the transition from last year to this year, going from second from the bottom to now here we are in the second round of the 5A district playoffs, that we're looking light years ahead. I mean, that is a hard 180 degrees, and it speaks volumes to both the coaching staff, like you already stated, and then the players and their work ethic, both on and off the field.
Yes. So, second from the bottom to second from the top. I mean, that's an amazing turnaround. Hosting a playoff match last week, or not last week, but earlier this week, while we were up here at Bishop McGuinness airing the Lady Highlanders game, and you guys were down there getting into an absolute dogfight from what I hear.
Oh, absolutely. It was 0-0 at half. The ball kind of stayed in that middle third. Never really got too deep except for a couple of quick attacks. It was a battle clearly in the midfield. Then going into the start of the second half, about 4 minutes in, Carl Albert turned around and got a quick one on the Lady Owls, and then the Lady Owls shortly thereafter responded about 3 minutes later, and so we were already tied 1-1, not even 8 minutes into the second half. And then the game went to extra time, golden goal, and then Joni Kenny really came through on a 1v1 with the keeper and put away the the final goal, leading to the 2-1 victory.
So we've talked about the younger players. Joni Kenny, a senior, comes up huge for the Lady Owls that night. I know I was driving back. I was almost back to Elgin when it happened. But so let's talk about tonight's matchup. We have a very deep Bishop McGuinness Lady Irish team. We saw it on Tuesday night. We saw exactly what they have on the field. They're just good. They're brilliant, And then you couple that with the fact that it's 91 degrees out.
Absolutely.
So what?
Pristine conditions.
What does that give? What does that give for this? For the Lady Owls. Let's talk about the Lady Owls because this is their broadcast. So what did? I don't know their conditioning.
They spend hours upon hours, both in the preseason and even during the season, doing multiple types of conditioning. Everything from the shortened wind sprints to make sure that they have the good breakaway speed or that transitional speed to running a mile and a half before every single practice. And so their conditioning level, just even watching it over the better part of the season, has increased greatly. I honestly, sitting up here, the one thing that I guess I really can openly notice is the field itself, and so we'll see how that plays into this.
So the field, I walked on it. I didn't walk on it on Tuesday when we came up, and me and Kobe Edwards kind of mentioned about partway through the first half where, the Lady Highlanders. That referee almost took one to the noggin. All right, the Lady Highlanders are already, hands on the knees, hands on the hips. Just looking tired already. But after walking on it today, I can understand why. There's a lot of sand. It's a soft field. So when you have a soft playing surface like that, it's going to be a little more taxing than, say, turf.
Well, and I know both from coaching club previously, you play in a facility, some of these city teams where they have the really nice thick grass, and it's very well taken care of. And then there are other fields that are, dirt/grass. And so even that, the ball moves different. It bounces different. Lady Owls have a turf field on their home pitch. And so it's
more readable.
It's much more readable. When it's going to bounce, when it catches, if it's going to have if it's got too much of a backspin, if it's going to spin back over their head. They've gotten really good at reading that. And so this environment is going to be interesting. Like you said, 91 degrees outside. It's by far, I think, maybe the second hottest game that they've played all season, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So, we'll see what the conditioning looks like. So, looks like they're about to start announcing the starting lineup in the stadium here in this first half. This first half is brought to you by real estate experts of Lawton. Reedy Daly was very kind to help us out and help the Lady Owls program out and get this on the air so that, it kind of saves that hour-and-a-half drive from the Lawton Elgin area. And, it's a military town, so everyone has family that are extended family or even immediate family that are just not in town and able to watch it. And we welcome all of y'all that are out there viewing and in that situation. So while they're announcing starters, we'll go ahead and pull up our starters for the Lady Owls, and we'll put that on your screen. We got, before they announce, we'll jump the gun on them. Number 2, Nina Vidic, which is a senior. I don't know much about Nina.
Nina showed up about probably second week into the season. Her twin brother played on the JV squad at Elgin, and she's very quick on her feet. She has phenomenal speed. Field awareness is above par. So it's one of those things. She makes a great wing back. She can track back really, really well, really quickly.
All right. We got Olivia Barrett, the junior, and Joni Kenny. We already talked about her with that game-winning thriller against Carl Albert. Roxana Enrique, a senior. Michaela Scholl, a junior, a freshman, Annalise Perez, who we already talked about, playing at a high level of club ball and letting that transfer in here. Yariela Cedena, who is a sophomore, Kenley York, a senior, Whitney Zuniga, the goalkeeper. What do we know about Whitney? The freshman?
So I know that she transferred up here in the off season, and when she showed up first practice.
We just started the national anthem. We'll talk a minute.
Okay.
All right, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't realize exactly what was going on there. Some stadiums do the national anthem after they announce the starters. Some do it before. Bishop McGuinness does it before. Sorry. But so back to Whitney, the goalkeeper, young freshman goalkeeper, obviously had a heck of a match on Tuesday. But how about her as far as a goalkeeper throughout the season, the growth and development?
The growth alone amongst our goalkeepers has speaks volumes, both to the coaching staff. We've had some volunteers that came in to help specifically with the goalkeepers to kind of get them up to speed, work on some of their techniques. Some of them are, initially at the start of the season a little afraid to get down and dirty, afraid to make that dive, working on their timing, where to stand in the box for what, whether it's a corner kick, free kick, how to set up wall, everything. And her IQ alone has we're once again, just like the team itself, we're talking 180 degrees, where her ability to read a play has greatly improved compared to 2.5 months ago when the season initially started. And so, her alone and her capabilities, reading the back line, understanding when she needs to come out and when she needs to stay put in the 6-yard box.
Now, does she play club ball anywhere at all? Or
I am not entirely sure. I just know that she did move here. It was either, I want to say it was possibly middle of last year, basically her 8th grade year, where she came in over the summer. But the other night alone showed her growth, in 80 minutes of like you said earlier, a straight-up dogfight from start to finish. And it was one of those things where if you could give an MVP for every game, I think she would have got it hands down. She had some phenomenal saves. She had a couple kick saves. She had a great back post save. There was a couple shots that were on a rope that, 2 months ago, you kind of look at it, leave the foot of the shooter, and go, ugh.
Yeah.
And she handled them with ease. She would either knock him down, knock him up and over, catch it. She played a phenomenal game last week or earlier in the week.
Awesome. So it's so good to hear about the players developing and growing in their position on the field. So then we got Andy Hera. I don't know Andy.
Andy's one of the quieter ones on the squad, to be perfectly honest with you.
There's a quiet high school.
Yes, they do exist. They're far few and in between, but yes, she is I believe she plays right back. Good vision, good verbal cues, both on and off the field. Gives 110% at every practice. I don't think I've seen her really dial back. She understands, if she were to get beat, she understands that switching rotation between what the center back needs to do and what that left back does. So she doesn't try and overcompensate and track more than what she needs to. She understands to cut to the middle and allow that overlap protection to kind of provide that support and allow the person that has the angle to take that angle. And so, I mean, she's, like I said, she's acquired one recently. She actually just got certified a couple, 2-3 weeks ago to certify down at Lawton Soccer Club as a USSF referee. So she took that leap along with her teammate Yari. And so it's funny, both being, having been a coach, being a referee like yourself, and then turning around and working with these girls, both on the pitch, off the pitch, and on the pitch again in a different capacity. You kind of you build those life skills and life lessons for them. Not to take away from the Lady Owls, but you look at, say, the boys varsity team going from allowing 52 goals on the season to allowing 31 this year, and then the goal differential allow was like less than 1. The keeper came out of the season with 97 saves and only allowed 31 goals. And so it's one of those things where you look at last year where they allowed 52 goals and might have scored middle teens to going to 30 goals scored and 31 allowed. And so it really does speak volumes to the program and where both of these teams are definitely getting ready to go going into next season, and hopefully for the continuation for the Lady Owls of this season alone. Yeah,
and finally we got Sadie Garnett as your final starter, number 22. I can't see where she is on the field. I'm sure we'll find out. So we're about to kick off here. It looks like the Lady Owls had the kickoff. Wearing white, going left to right on your screen, and the Bishop McGuinness Lady Irish will be defending the kickoff. Wearing black, going right to left on your screen. Referee's doing a little jog, getting ready. All right, and as he hits the whistle, we'll bring our clock up on the scoreboard there for you. Lady Owls controlling it first, but that is quickly broke down by the Lady Irish. Annalise Perez on the ball, tries to clear it out to the wing. And that's honestly, this is what the Lady Owls, I feel, are going to have to do a lot of is, try to get that counterattack, catch them sleeping a little bit on the back line, something into the corner or something down the line.
One of the things that the Lady Owls have definitely worked on a lot this season is that possession and that quick counterattack. Not so much part of their everyday playbook.
And Elise Perez with a couple of good moves on the sideline there and gets it pushed into the middle, and the Lady Owls are on the attack. And it's a pretty good little possession for them here. It's a little too much on that ball, and that was from number 22, Sadie Garnett. I think she had the right idea there to play it in. I always say, great idea, poor execution.
Absolutely, and that's something that like I said earlier, you being a coach and a referee, we both understand that the execution piece.
That's the hardest part.
Is absolutely the hardest part. You can rehearse it 10 times over, and then all it takes is to have, instead of being one of your teammates in your face trying to get the ball from you, it's somebody else, and suddenly it can become a dogfight real quick.
Lady Irish on the ball, dribbling. She has a runner out there. Beautiful play. Just a heavy touch. Goes out for a Lady Owls goal kick. So we got Samuel over here on the camera. He's going to do the best. Like I said earlier, he's going to do the best he can for us. He's doing a pretty good job so far. That ball's played through. Nothing to
goal.
nothing really Whitney could have done. I don't think, except, she could have came off her line a little quicker, but.
And that like I said, that's one of those things that she's definitely worked on throughout the season, as far as being able to read stuff and make decisions much quicker.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that, like, as a goalkeeper, much like a PK, you kind of have, some people tell you, oh, I read feet, I read hips, I read knees. But at the end of the day, it's whether or not you can close that gap.
Try to get your time back on here. We have 37:20 left in the half. Once again, this first half is brought to you by Lawton Real Estate Experts. I believe their slogan is, if we don't sell your house in 59 days, we'll buy it. So
that's something to consider.
and Reedy Daly, he had a couple of kids that grew up playing through the ranks at the Lawton Soccer Club, so there's a connection there with soccer. So just an overall good guy. I went into the office and talked to him yesterday to try and make sure I got the right logos and stuff, and we're going to keep him happy. So just, like I said, all around pretty good guy. I heard he's a heck of a real estate agent, so if anyone's looking for someone, he's your guy. Lady Irish back on control here.
The diagonal run from number 8 really kept her in.
Number 8, Molly.
Over the touchline.
I got to bring back up my picture of their roster. We talked about that young lady a lot on Tuesday night.
It's one of those things. Offsides is one of those things that from 40 feet up in the air, it looks one way. When you're standing down there on the sideline, it looks completely different. And then when you're in the center, it looks even more different. And so it's one of those things that you just kind of go, all right.
So number 8 for the Lady Irish, Molly Strope, was our OSN player to match on Tuesday. And I can't tell you who scored how many goals for Bishop McGuinness, but I do know that she was definitely the most impactful player. Her speed, her soccer IQ.
Involved across the board.
And there's Joni Kenny with a steal. She's going to run up into the box. Goalkeeper comes out just in time. So we see a flash of what Joni Kenny can do by putting pressure on the defense back there. And maybe that's a good idea, to keep those strikers up high and not give the goalkeeper an easy out, because it wasn't a very accurate drop kick.
And it's one of those things, though. The Lady Owls definitely have a couple different options as far as speed up top and a rotation through the midfield that Coach Stevie runs. And it's definitely one of those, leave the striker. You want one or two to just kind of sit, read those back line, read those center backs. As you can see right here at midfield, they're just kind of sitting there just waiting. And it's one of those things where Annalise, good body.
Annalise fought for that one.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good little fight down there. We got a corner kick for the Lady Irish. What we saw on Tuesday was they had some pretty good services on their corner kicks. The finishing on the corner kicks wasn't great. Hopefully we see that again here.
Oh, miscue.
And the Lady Owls defense scrambling in the box. Ball comes back in, and Whitney easily scoops that one up, holds on to it, and tells her team to go. We got a offside call.
Every once in a while, you catch the one camping, and it's just, as a referee, you sit there and you're just kind of like,
you're waiting for it because you're like, do I get to raise my flag now?
Exactly.
On board?
Exactly. You just got to sit there and watch, like, just don't touch. No, don't. Ugh. you're offsides. But it's one of those things that I know the Owls have worked on is keeping that high defensive line, and it worked a lot. Was it Monday night?
Yeah, and if you can keep that high defensive line and then take a step at the right time.
Yep, getting that timing down.
Great defense on the outside by Nina. Part of the fight as a wing back is just keeping that that winger for the other team from being able to send a halfway decent cross in. A lot of times you see kids, trying to win the ball as a wing back.
Yep.
As opposed to just keep them out there, make them play where they're not comfortable. They don't have a good shot from out there. It's not a good angle. And if they make that shot, well then, shake their hand because it was good. So if you keep the ball out, just like right there, they kept that ball away from goal and kept it tailing away.
And it's one of those things when you're working with any back line, whether you're running 3 backs, 4 backs. Some schools I've seen run 5, and it's just a matter of the
good step by Annalise Perez. I thought we had a chance there for a little bit of a break, and we do. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your thought.
Oh, no, you're fine. I did the same thing. I
thought we had a chance. Thought we had a chance there for a break.
Nice through ball. A little too much on that.
Goes out for a Lady Owls throw in. Looks like the Lady Owls are kind of getting out physical in the midfield.
And it's one of those things that you deal with a lot when you have your those freshmen and sophomores, playing against some of these juniors and seniors, and then you have the onesie-twosie club players that are in the group that understand the physicality.
That ball comes through. Really nice ball up over the top. Number 9, Michaela Scholl, puts up a fight for that one, and it was cleared out nicely by the Lady Irish defense. So just the fact that there's pressure being put on the defense, eventually.
And that's the way it was the other night. It was one of those, okay, and then when it finally worked, it was like, okay, you see the life come back, and there's not really any sign of defeat. And they just kept the pedal down and hammered on through the match the other night.
Yeah, I was kind of concerned there for a second when they went down quick here tonight, but they haven't quit. There's been no hang the head and say we can't do this.
These Lady Owls have been dogfighting all year. They have set goals as far as what it is, and what teams they I don't want to say cherish in taking the win over. But it's definitely one of those things, like you said, going from second from the bottom in your district to second in your district, then that alone speaks volumes.
We got a 1v1 against the goalkeeper there, and that is the freshman Molly Strope for the Lady Irish.
I know all the viewers at home can't see this, but I have this massive pillar directly in my way that blocks the complete final third. So when it comes to any of the Owls' attacks in this first half, Rich, it's going to have to be all you because I can't see anything.
There are ways you kind of got to do. We did it on Tuesday. It was kind of rough. We're started back up here. Trying to keep your clock there for you viewers as close as possible. So if you see it stop every once in a while, it's because I'm getting it back on track. So it's actually only the second game that I've done a game clock on the scoreboard on the live feed. It's interesting. We'll leave it at that.
Stop. Pause. Play. Play. Reset. Pause.
We got a throw in for the Lady Irish. Well defended by Elgin, but goes back out for another throw in. I like the physical defense on the sideline there by, I can't see a number. I think that's Yari. And the hustle play by Roxana Enriquez, number 7 for the Lady Owls, making a huge hustle play to get back and defend that ball from being able to be sent into the middle.
Little miscue there by Whitney, but Roxanne came in, helped her out, and was able to clear that ball with a little light deflection, becomes Owls throw-in.
Yes, sir. A little bit of a scramble again, but we got a substitution for Lady Owls. That is number 6, Joni, coming off. Joni Kenny's coming off, and
No.
my eyes are old. Number 4, Ella Desmars? No. That's not.
I really feel like we need a set of binos up here.
I really feel like I need to be about 20 years younger. That was a great ball in by the Irish. And that's the ball you want to avoid as a wing back. Looks like that's number 16, Emma Reinhardt, that came in for Joni Kenny. Or not for Joni Kenny.
This is why we need positioning as well.
We'll figure it out. Joni Kenny's still in.
We got 26.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Good defense there by the Lady Owls. And number 9, Michaela Scholl. So Michaela was up top earlier, wasn't she?
Yeah, so I don't know that she necessarily plays in that false 9 role, but she does track back a lot, and they kind of play a lot more. Lady Owls, they play a lot more with a single striker, and almost a false 9, I guess, in that 4-4-2 where they can drop it into a 4-5-1 and they just kind of stay in it.
I was going to say it kind of looks like a 4-5-1 a lot of times.
Yeah, when they're dropped back like this, they have a tendency to drop one of those two. And then Michaela's speed, if she gets open, if she gets equal to or past you, it's one of those I wish you the best. Because if she's on the gas and she's got a full head of steam, she has outran her fair share of defensive wing backs and center backs this year.
And that's good because the Lady Irish have a quick defensive line.
That is, yes.
I'm sure that's probably on the scouting report for Coach Stevie. Ball goes out by Annalise Perez for a Lady Irish throw-in.
Oh, nice. That was a nice step.
Oh. That's a really tough one for goalkeeper Whitney Zuniga there. A lot of people will say, oh, she should have caught it. She got both hands on it, but that ball was screaming in there.
That's one of those, it doesn't matter if the ball is rolling backwards coming at you, then you run the risk of it rolling off the front of your gloves and going down. If it's got a little bit more top spin, then it has a tendency to kind of skip over you every once in a while. But then when they come just straight flat line and they've got a little bit of heat behind them,
it's not easy.
It is not easy at
Molly,
all.
Molly was maybe 7 yards from her.
Yeah, I mean, just that, yeah.
It was not, yeah. That ball comes quick. So looking at a 3-0 lead for the Lady Irish.
Looks like the Owls may have to make a keeper change. Whitney looks like she might have got hurt a little bit on that last one.
I don't think. What? I didn't see what happened there.
I didn't, unless it was she fold backwards maybe. I know her left knee, she's had problems with it off and on, so if she landed on it when she tried to make that save or fell on it
We
wrong.
have a young lady on the sideline rushing to get in some goalkeeper gear.
Yeah, it's Danica Peel. She wears 19 on the field, but she's also the backup keeper. And so she is over there frantically putting her gear on, ready for her playoff debut.
So we'll see if we can get word around halftime-ish and see how Whitney's doing. Not really concerned what the injury is. We just want to know, hey, is she all right,
And it's one of those things. It's tough as a coach. It's tough as a parent. It's tough even as a referee when you ref certain clubs for certain amounts of time. You start to, you know the players. You know which ones are capable of what. You know the tougher ones. You know the ones that tend to play a little more timid. And so you get concerned. I know.
Yeah, not only that, like we talked about it a lot for the Lady Highlanders this year because Ruby Ann went down a few times.
Mm-hmm.
The goalkeeper, and also a couple times with the men when Frank went out or Frank got suspended because of yellow cards. But I can replace a striker. They come a dime a dozen. I can replace a midfielder. They come a dime a dozen. I can replace a defender. They come a dime a dozen.
Yep.
A goalkeeper, a little bit different.
So
a lot of bit different, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, as a specialty, and I've always said that your goalkeeper, they got to be a little bit off up top, a little bit crazy.
Yep.
Not afraid of anything.
Not quite sacrificial, but
sacrificial.
But sacrificial.
So you can't be afraid of anything, So what do you do if you're the Lady Irish coach right now? You got you got a new goalkeeper come in. Does that mean more things go on frame? As a coach,
I think as a coach, it's one of those. It's one of those. You don't really know. If a team has a goalkeeper ready that quick, you want to try and test it as much as possible right then and there. Maybe push some numbers forward. Maybe get maybe one of your center backs kind of involved in that deeper attack. And it's one of those
and
things.
Hit that 40-yard shot and see what how do they judge it?
But if you notice already, Danica Peel plays much higher in the box compared to Whitney, and so she'll come out and she kind of plays a little bit more of a sweeper keeper compared to I call them the stay-at-home keepers, I guess if you will, where they don't really venture outside that PK mark. They kind of stay kind of tight to their net. That's their quote comfort zone. And Danica's got some fairly good footwork as far as the ability to play that, if you will, that fifth back where, if they need to drop the ball to her, she's got the footwork to be able to kind of move side to side. As you can see, she shifts with her defense. She doesn't really stay home very often.
Yeah, I just know me as a coach, anytime a new goalkeeper was brought in, right, I tell the boys, look, I don't care if it's 20 yards or 40 yards, I want shots. Until we see that, this new goalkeeper can really judge the ball and actually has some good hands to catch the ball, I want shots. A little bit of a tough play there by number 22, Sadie Garnett. So she's playing in the midfield. We're trying to figure out where she's at. She's playing in the midfield. Midfielder, number 22, Sadie Garnett, a junior. Committed that foul, but not a bad foul to take. Give a little bit of physicality. Because basically, physically, Bishop McGuinness, the Lady Irish, have had the upper hand the entire game. I haven't seen really much of an attempt for the Lady Owls to really, put a hard body on someone.
Yeah.
And soccer is not, it, and I know
a little slip there on the free kick cost him some distance.
Got a great play over there by the Lady Irish, but couldn't take advantage of it.
That goes back to what we were talking about just before the match started.
The field conditions.
The field conditions.
Yep.
Is.
And that could benefit or hurt either team. So it looks like the Lady Irish substitutes are starting to warm up. Got almost 21 minutes left in the first half here, so about halfway. And that is just a heck of a shot off the left foot of, I can't get a number, I think it's number 10 for the Lady Irish. Katie Johnson. Pretty sure that's who it was. If I was incorrect, I am sorry.
Well, that's who everybody's surrounded. So I think that's a safe call.
I mean, that was just a heck of a shot off the left foot there. You know me, I'm a big fan of the left footers.
I'm slightly partial myself. We'll call it slightly partial. Yeah, throw in for the Lady Owls. Annalise with a good turn.
She picked up the foul there. So we got an Elgin free kick about 40 yards from goal. 35, 40 yards from goal.
The same distance as it was down here on the other end.
It does look like they are kicking off grass instead of sand, though. Oh, maybe a little bit.
Maybe it's just brown grass that looks like sand.
That's a possibility, too. That did not come off her foot the way she wanted it to. But a good challenge there by the Lady Owls defense.
Nice step by Roxanne. Cutting off
Roxanne
that ball.
just came up huge on that one. That was a break. The Lady Irish were definitely going to put some pressure on with that attack. But stepping up and coming up huge for them.
Yeah, it was between Roxanne and Kenley York, excuse me, holding those two center back positions. They play offset really well, where if one steps, one stays home, and they constantly communicate and are able to kind of read each other's thoughts, I guess you could say. And so it's one of those things that speaks to speaks volumes, like I said at the start of this broadcast, when it comes to just
the coaching and the teamwork.
Yeah.
You know, that to me, that's coaching and teamwork, cohesion, making sure that there's good.
Words are difficult on a Friday afternoon. So.
Got a little bit of disagreement between number 10 of the Lady Irish and the referee. I think she just backed into Annalise.
I think she was in the process of putting her cleat back on, and then it got taken 100%, back off.
100% unintentional.
Absolutely.
You know, just she was backing up, talking to the referee, not looking where she was going.
So I know I've done it as a ref too, where I'm backing up, and I've even stepped on my own shoelace and completely just tipped over and fallen on a player before, and it's kind of like, short ball there to Annalise rather than playing a long ball.
The way that the Lady Irish collapsed on the ball in the midfield is wild.
It's
good.
It's a very quick transition, and it's one of the things that, you know, myself as a coach, I talk about the transitional piece of the field. You know, some coaches talk about the final third, you know, being closer to the goal that you're attacking, your defending third being closer to yours, and that transitional piece being, you know, for all you football fans out there, basically between the 35-yard lines on either side of midfield. And that's where the dog fighting really happens. That's where a lot of the chippery, I guess you could call it, happens. Oh, and a nice layoff.
Great ball. Great job, buddy.
Oh, unlucky. Bounces off the far post.
That was a great job by Danica Peel to come out and challenge that ball, though. that's one of those times where you see that, the goalkeeper, you can't be scared of anything. You got to be a little bit,
What was the word you used earlier?
a little crazy, a little off.
A little off.
I hope no one gets offended by that. That was it's just the way I've always been told and told my kids.
We got a little bit of a dogfight right here in front.
Foul goes in the direction of the Elgin Lady Owls. So you see the Lady Owls are starting to get a little more physical, and it looks like it's starting to get under the skin a little bit of the Lady Irish. And sometimes you have to.
And it's one of those things that you got to be real careful when it comes to the physicality piece of soccer in general. Is there's that very thin line between over the top, unsportsmanlike, and then you have that bearable, that good, wholesome challenges, that clean play that really makes the matches really exciting. You don't want to see it too much, too easy for some teams. You don't want to see it too difficult, but at the same token.
So how I mentioned that the Lady Irish and the way they were collapsing on the ball in the midfield, I'd like to see that more from the Lady Owls. It seems to be that the Lady Irish can move through the midfield with ease. At least make them know they're trying to go through the middle of the field.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you notice the way that the Lady Irish are playing, where they've got nice save by Danica there.
Great job by Danica to save that one.
Caught that, pushed it up off the crossbar, managed to keep it from crossing that end line. But if you notice, the Lady Irish, they really only leave their two center backs in the back, and they push numbers forward. So essentially you've got 4 holding mids followed by, so you've got a deeper, wider midfield in comparison to the Owls, where their 4 backs kind of stay fairly true to themselves, and they're more in a defensive posture.
Yeah, so it spreads them out.
It spreads it out, and it's a transitional problem.
And at least getting frustrated here with what we were talking about, the physical play.
Well, that's kind of the downside to I don't want to necessarily call it a downside, but one of the key pieces when it comes to high school soccer is you're dealing with 4 age groups all on one squad.
Mm-hmm. So she's basically probably a 14, maybe 15-year-old freshman out here playing against grown women at times.
Yeah.
Pretty good shot there by number 24 there. Sabrina Guzman, the senior. Not a bad look. I mean,
she was really trying to bend it for that upper corner.
She was.
She wanted it. She wanted that upper 90.
She was, and I think she felt she had Danica beat there. And she receives that goal kick, intercepts it. Makes a good play in. Danica falls on it off the heavy touch from number 10 for the Lady Irish.
Yeah, like you said just moments ago, Rich, is you look at a midfield, and a lot of games are won and lost in the midfield. And it's those 1 or 2 those 1 or 2 through balls can really make a world of a difference.
Yep. And being able to dribble through the midfield like this right here, right? If I was coaching, I'd be telling the girls, like, she can't dribble across the field without getting a body put on her. She's got to feel it. She's got to feel herself going across the middle of the field.
Yeah, like I know I've fallen victim to the whole, like, stop dribbling, get it off your foot, and then if an individual manages to dribble by, not 1, not 2, but 3, 4, 5 people, and then still manages to put it in the net.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of one of those things.
And you've heard me yell at Braden before at club ball.
Time and time again. It's like, get
the ball, pass. No, okay, go. Yeah. Okay, good job, buddy.
It's like, okay.
So, I mean, I get it. It's just, as the defending coach, I'm telling my boys, if she tries to dribble across the middle of the field that again, she needs, don't foul her, don't hurt her, but you need to play a physical game. She can't just go
miscue by Yari.
willy-nilly.
They're in the box. Oh, nice save again by Danica.
So Danica's come in, and she's played a heck of a match so far. She's made some great saves on some really hard-hit balls.
And that's just one of those things where you look at two keepers, both freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
With, if they do have some club experience, it's unbeknownst to me personally, and so it's one of those things that, like, coming out here and here you are in your second round. Since I'm willing to bet it's the second round in school history. I know they've been to the first round. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, Coach said that they went to the second round when she was playing back in like 2018 or 2019.
Okay. But still, nonetheless, I mean, Whitney had gotten the start over the last 2 or 3 games now. And so it's one of those things that Danica really started playing as a field player. And then I think she thought she was still inbounds. I think she didn't see the chalk. The way she made that turn, number 7 there for the Lady Irish. She was ready to play.
The Lady Irish just made 6 substitutions. So just brought 6 fresh legs on the field, 6 sets of fresh legs on the field. They did not do as much in the first half as far as substituting on Tuesday night, and I'm guessing that's because of the fact that it is 90 degrees out, and Tuesday was like 70. So
yeah, 20 degrees makes a world of difference. It really does.
Oh, it does. So, and like you were saying about getting that opportunity for Danica is, we've said it all year. If you've heard any of our soccer broadcasts, that when these freshmen or the men or ladies that aren't getting the starts get their opportunity, they have to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
There's been a lot of frustration. I've seen it with all 4 of the schools that are within the Lawton Soccer Club area. Eisenhower, Lawton High, MacArthur, Elgin. Just the ones that I've talked to some of the players, but there's been a lot of frustration from some of the freshmen about not getting the playing time, because on their club team they're this, on their club team they're that. But you stated it, they're playing against kids 4 years older than them. They're competing for their spot against kids 4 years older than them.
Yeah.
But they get frustrated, and all I ever tell them when they talk to me about it is you got to take, whenever you get your opportunity, you have to make it worthwhile. So we got a good attack here, starting to go for the Lady Owls. Just 3 players for the Lady Irish on the ball anytime it's in the middle of the field. There is nothing Annalise can do in there.
That collapse and that transition to we have the ball, we don't have the ball, and just cutting off every avenue approach right now.
And you can see Annalise is getting frustrated, but there's nothing she can do. So the Bishop McGuinness boys have a match after this against Piedmont, which is a district rival for them. It should shape up to be a heck of a match.
I know. I noticed quite a few of the boys when they were just walking into the stadium. I recognize a couple of the bags.
Dressed well.
Yeah. Some of the. Oh, short corner.
Looking for the back post there.
Kind of caught Danica a little off her line. She was kind of trying to shield her eyes looking into the sun on that. I don't know that she was really ready for it, and then she was able to kind of make that adjustment, but it was still A long cross.
A lot of those shots though, it was really, because I think she was taking a shot there for that back post, but there's not really a whole lot a goalkeeper can do about those, especially on a corner when you're already committing out.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where if you take too much of a step, you run the risk of it coming in front of your hand as you're trying to go to that back corner. If you take too much of a step forward, then it still curls in behind you, and you just kind of find yourself tangled up in the net.
Well defended there. Ball goes out for a Lady Irish throw-in. Once again, the Lady Owls clear the ball out. Just a tough match tonight for the Lady Owls. But the good thing is, like I said earlier, I mentioned it earlier, that, I haven't seen them quit. There's no give up yet.
And it's not really, it's one of those things where, watching the Lady Owls play, between the boys JV and the boys varsity, week after week, 2 times a week through the regular season. Even in times when they're really, really down, we're down 4-0 right now, and it's one of those things where they still play and they stay on the gas. And it's just a matter of that one breakthrough is really all you're looking for, and sometimes that's really all you need, and it can change in a heartbeat.
So right about 5 minutes left in the half, they plant one in right now or within the next 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and the momentum changes. You take a totally different attitude into the locker room at the halftime, or to the sideline, wherever coach is going to take them at halftime. You take a totally different attitude or momentum into that break, and you come out with a different attitude.
And it's one of those things where, as a coach, you got to be real careful. Sometimes what you say at the half. Oh, nice work.
Great job by Annalise to push that one out.
Here's that speed that I was talking about.
Michaela's on the gas.
She's basically got the last touch was a little heavy. Kind of took it to the end line.
And it was well defended by the center back for the Lady Irish, too, to keep her from being able to get onto that ball. Short little goal kick.
A little bit of confusion there between the wingback, between Nina
and Roxana.
And Roxana there.
Got some good work over there by the Lady Irish to work the ball into the wide area of the pitch.
Yeah, really spreading that defense, really forcing some of those midfielders to drop down into that coverage.
And they've sucked Nina back into the center of the field and left their left winger out there by herself. It was a good outlet for them to keep possession. Great job by Roxana to halt things a little bit, give her team a little bit of time to
get back, regroup. Yep. Another one off the crossbar.
Well done by Danica to fall on that one and halt things a little bit.
She's trying to get the ball out there on the wing, out there to Annalise. It was just a little much.
So I've noticed that Coach pulled Joni back as a outside midfielder. Maybe trying to give her a little more room to run.
And like I was talking at the start is you look at those front 4 or 5, and the versatility of each of the girls, being able to kind of maneuver around and drop back a little bit to kind of help with the width. And then you've got
Michaela coming off, number 4, Ella Desmaris coming on as a striker. Michaela's got to be spent. I mean, she's made quite a few pretty good runs.
Three.
I can tell you, if I make one run up the field the way she did, I'd be done. You'd be scooping me up off the ground, finding some oxygen.
I wouldn't even be doing that. I just look for the golf cart, I'll be honest with you. Find the gator, find the medic.
Good outlet there by the Lady Owls. Let's keep the pressure on. Come on.
A little bit of...
And Elise takes out some of her frustration on the young lady on the sideline over there. Which is part of the game. Fouls are part of the game.
It's one of those things where it's like...
I don't think she was trying to hurt the lady. I think she was just trying to remind her that she's there.
Same thing.
Ball's coming in dangerously, and well done by Danica. Come up off her line and make sure no heads get on that second bounce there. Once again, the collapse in the midfield onto that ball in transition.
Offsides.
We've got an offside Lady Irish player.
And
we're at half. We are sitting right now at the Bishop McGuinness Lady Irish up 4-0 against the Lady Owls. So what are you saying to the ladies at halftime?
I'm a firm believer that anything can happen in any capacity. And it's one of those things, you have to let them know about the mistakes, but at the same token, you have to use those positive reinforcement moments of, there's still 40 minutes of ball to play. We've got 9.5 minutes now to figure this out and really, one of the big things I like telling my teams over the years is, I work at practice as a coach. I get you ready for your match. We do the drills that we need to do. We run the schemes that we want to run. And at the end of the day, game time is your time to shine and your time to execute. I usually expect, 1 or 2 leaders on the field to really stand up and kind of take that leadership key role, that captain role, if you will, on the field to kind of be like, hey, it's not over till it's over.
Yeah.
We can sit here and dwell at 4-0 for the next 9 minutes while we wait.
But just keep swimming, right?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Get a laugh out of you.
Just keep swimming.
So, thanks to Stace and Reedy at Lawton Real Estate Experts for their sponsorship for the first half. Their information is on the screen right now. We're going to leave it up there for you for a little bit in case you want to copy it down. Looking to sell your house, looking to buy a house, go talk to them. They'll get you in one. They'll get you out of one.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Arrow Sign Company has been serving Oklahoma and surrounding states for over 60 years. As a family-owned business, our focus has always been on driving people to your door, not just selling you a sign. From custom sign design and manufacturing to installation and service, Arrow Sign has the knowledge and experience to deliver the ideal sign for you while using materials of the highest quality to ensure that your sign will look great for years and years to come. We design and manufacture our signs for longevity, so you get the greatest return on investment possible. Arrow Sign Company, helping your business thrive since 1955.
Are you looking for more than just a job? Barres Foods in Lawton offers a career with a competitive starting wage, opportunity for advancement, life and health insurance, including medical, dental, and vision, as well as 401k retirement plan. At Barres, you can be proud of a company that gives back to the community. But most of all, you can take pride from making a quality product. Barres Foods, making the best tasting hot dogs and smoked sausages, the food America likes to eat. So come be a part of a winning team and start your path to success today.
At Bill Miller and Noble Heating and Air Conditioning, we take pride in our quality air conditioner and heater repair and replacement services, as well as providing the highest customer satisfaction. Bill Miller and Noble Heating and Air Conditioning has been serving Lawton and the surrounding area for over 25 years. We have the knowledge, equipment, and trained technicians to take care of all your heating and cooling needs. Give us a call. Bill Miller and Noble Heating and Air, 355-1811.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Bridges.
And I'm Dr. Nathan Buckner.
Did you know our dental practice is one of only 6% of practices in the United States that provide care from an all-digital platform?
We fabricate crowns, bridges, and place implants with advanced digital technology.
If you want to be part of this digital revolution in dental care, call us today at 248-6700 or visit our website at bridgesandbucknerdentistry.com.
We look forward to providing you with exceptional dental care.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Arrow Sign Company has been serving Oklahoma and surrounding states for over 60 years. As a family-owned business, our focus has always been on driving people to your door, not just selling you a sign. From custom sign design and manufacturing to installation and service, Arrow Sign has the knowledge and experience to deliver the ideal sign for you while using materials of the highest quality to ensure that your sign will look great for years and years to come. We design and manufacture our signs for longevity, so you get the greatest return on investment possible. Arrow Sign Company, helping your business thrive since 1955.
Are you looking for more than just a job? Barres Foods in Lawton offers a career with a competitive starting wage, opportunity for advancement, life and health insurance, including medical, dental, and vision, as well as 401k retirement plan. At Barres, you can be proud of a company that gives back to the community. But most of all, you can take pride from making a quality product. Barres Foods, making the best tasting hot dogs and smoked sausages, the food America likes to eat. So come be a part of a winning team and start your path to success today.
At Bill Miller and Noble Heating and Air Conditioning, we take pride in our quality air conditioner and heater repair and replacement services, as well as providing the highest customer satisfaction. Bill Miller and Noble Heating and Air Conditioning has been serving Lawton and the surrounding area for over 25 years. We have the knowledge, equipment, and trained technicians to take care of all your heating and cooling needs. Give us a call. Bill Miller and Noble Heating and Air, 355-1811.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Bridges.
And I'm Dr. Nathan Buckner.
Did you know our dental practice is one of only 6% of practices in the United States that provide care from an all-digital platform?
We fabricate crowns, bridges, and place implants with advanced digital technology.
If you want to be part of this digital revolution in dental care, call us today at 248-6700 or visit our website at bridgesandbucknerdentistry.com.
We look forward to providing you with exceptional dental care.
All right, welcome back to the second half of action here at Bishop McGuinness High School between the Lady Owls and the Lady Irish. We got the Lady Irish up 4-0 coming out of the halftime break. Hopefully we see a little bit of a rejuvenated Lady Owls team coming out, and they can come out kind of hot. Our second half of action is brought to you by Outback Steakhouse in Lawton. We appreciate their support for the community and for the kids out here playing their sports, and being able to bring this to y'all down there in Elgin and Lawton to be able to watch this without making the hour-and-a-half drive up here to the city. So, and when you go to Outback Steakhouse in Lawton, see Coach Stevie, your Lady Owls coach, one of the wonderful employees out there. As soon as the referee gets in place here, he's going to go ahead and kick off this second half. 40 minutes of action left in the match. And the Lady Irish kick it off. Quickly intercepted by the Lady Owls. So it looks like they are coming out with a little bit of a injection of enthusiasm here. They are not ready to give up yet. These Lady Owls have showed some great, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but whatever it is, it's great. They have not given up. Words are hard on a Friday evening. Isn't that what you said earlier?
You can't take my phrases. These are copyright.
So once again, it's Rich Frederick, Chris Balvans talking to you, and we got Samuel Frederick on the camera. And I think he did pretty good the first half there. He's a young gentleman trying to come out here
make his way.
Do something different that he's never done before. And at 14 years old, I think he's doing a heck of a job. Lady Irish moving the ball well. Again here in the second half. That one might be just a little too long.
Oh, nope. No, she kept it in. Kept it in on the end line.
She saved it. Good hustle play there. That was a great job by number 8, Molly. I can never remember her last name. But dummying that ball across there.
Nice save again by Danica, pushing it up off the crossbar.
Yeah, Danica's killing it out here. Ball goes out for a Lady Irish corner kick. Molly Strope, that's the name we're looking for. Dummied that ball across to the left wing. And then Danica makes a heck of a save. 2 saves.
Yeah, she made the first one, got right back up on her feet, tracked over to the back post, and was able to make that second save on that secondary shot.
See what the Lady Irish can do with this corner kick here. They've played them short for most of the match so far. That one comes in. It goes through everybody. Out for a Lady Owls throw in. Well, that's one of the frustrating moments for a coach. I can tell you firsthand experience to see a corner kick go through the whole way to the other touchline and out for a throw in for the other team. You have that great opportunity on a set piece.
And it's one of those things that you practice and you rehearse, and you always tell the boys, somebody always has to be there on the backside. Somebody has to close that back door or whatever you want to call it. And then when you still watch it happen, it is extremely frustrating to just sit there and go, I feel like we've talked about this.
Good pressure here by the Lady Owls. Definitely not giving up on anything.
Oh, a little bit of a miscue there by 15 for the Lady Irish. Joni putting pressure on the keeper back there.
That's twice down the last couple of minutes that she is, forced a little mistouch or whatnot by the keeper. Lady Irish looking for the long ball. Ball ushered out of bounds by Kenley York. Number 14 for the Lady Owls. The ball stayed in.
Ooh, the feet got tangled.
Tangled up at the feet. Kenley York is called for the foul. I feel that could have went possibly either direction there, but it's the call's the call. The AR was standing 5 feet from it. We can't really argue with that.
I mean, we can, but it never really does anything.
It'll never work out.
Never works out.
Great service. Lady Irish unable to get ahead on the end of that. Another corner kick for the Lady Irish. This Lady Irish team is pretty deep with club players that play club ball at a really high level, and you can kind of tell. I mean, not kind of tell. You can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, they play some very brilliant soccer.
And it's one of those things where, you can tell, and the differences in the level of play and in the movement off the ball is often way more important than the movement with the ball. Is making sure that you've always got somebody in space, somebody's always moving, somebody's always ready for a pass.
The outlet is intercepted by the Lady Irish. Just some hard physical work being put in down there by number 7 for the Lady Owls, Roxana Enriquez. Another good service in, and that one almost turned into the goal. Just misses that far post. Goes out for a Lady Owls goal kick.
Good.
Great ball movement there by the Irish through the middle of the field again. So I know we've talked about it, get like the middle of the field there, and that's the one spot on the field that I always tell the kids, like, don't give up the middle. Do not give up the middle of the field. You know,
absolutely.
The game is won and lost in the middle of the field. Great step there by Joni.
Oh, and they
both.
both.
A little miscommunication, turn in Elise.
Yari making the run, putting some pressure.
That one just sneaks past Danica there. So the Lady Irish take a 5-0 lead with that.
Plays the through ball to number 10 for the Lady Irish. She's on the run down to the corner.
Good solid defense there by number 14, Kenley York of the Lady Owls, just keeping her outside like we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them outside. Don't give them that good crossing opportunity, the good shot or anything.
And it's one of those things where, you talk about don't dive in, make them let, as a defender, you want the offensive player, you want them to make that first move. You don't want to, bite on every single fancy foot move that they've seen time and time again on FIFA. And so it's one of those things that, like, being able to just keep that suspended defense and just keep that
patience,
which is
the biggest thing. Patience. You wait for the offensive player to make the mistake and you capitalize on their mistake. Do not make the mistake. Especially against a team that, like the Irish here, that are just so good on the ball and off the ball. Got a header there. It goes into the side of the net. Good turn there by Yuri Ellis. Unable to keep control through the midfield, but goes out for a Lady Owls throw.
Well, like we saw in the first half, Joni has now moved out here to this left attacking mid role to kind of provide this width, along with her speed that we spoke about in the pregame.
Yeah, I think if you have a chance to isolate someone with that speed, instead of running against two center backs, she gets to isolate against one wing back.
Yeah, and I prefer 1v1s over 2v1s any day.
Yes, sir.
So,
good ball down the sideline, and this might be a chance for the Lady Owls. Goes out for a Lady Owls throw-in. A little bit of a spark here for the Lady Owls. They've had a few of those little sparks, throughout the match. Nothing that is a absolute crazy scoring opportunity, but just sparks of we see they can do it, and I think that as a coach, I'd be bringing those up to them. Look, guys, you can do it. You see, you can do it. Let's go.
Now, see, here's one of those things where me as a coach, I'm not necessarily always locked in on what's going on with the ball. I'm watching, what's happening off the ball. The keeper came all the way out to the edge of the 18, thinking she had a goal kick. And me as a coach, I'm trying to signal in some capacity to my players on the field to possibly play that a little faster, knowing that she's that far out and that there's no keeper in the goal. And they kind of just took a little bit extra time there, and it allowed the keeper to kind of get back and get settled in. And now you've got the Irish down here on the attack.
Good work by number 21 for the Lady Owls there, Andy Hara, just to kind of follow her across the field and keep her body between the ball and the goal. That's all she had to do there. She simply did it. She didn't let number 10 for the Lady Irish have a good shot. And because of that reason, that shot did not.
I really thought she was going to. I thought the Lady Irish was going to take that shot about 2 touches sooner, and because Andy kind of kept that block in position and kept tracking with her, and allowed that center back to kind of come in and kind of close it. It almost made her hold it a little bit longer than she probably even wanted to, and didn't really allow for a good clean shot. And now we have a goal kick now for the Owls.
Got another freshman, number 12, Sophia. I'm not even going to try your last name, Sophia. But thanks for coming on the field. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher people's last names on here. But she comes in for Joni. That ball goes wide again for Lady Owls goal kick.
And Sophia's another one of those freshmen, like I said, that she came on board and you can see the development going on within the team and within the program, as far as understanding the movement with the ball, off the ball, positioning. Don't track too far back or too far forward, because if you as a player don't possess the speed to be able to track back, and then suddenly you're caught out of position. And so her positioning, she's worked on, and she started doing a really phenomenal job with being able to kind of understand that a little bit better and understanding where she's on the field.
And at least putting a fight on over there on the sideline, not letting them have a good cross. Ball goes out for Lady Owls goal kick once again. So that little bit of fight that I just saw from Annalise on the sideline, we've seen it a few times, and she's not the biggest player out there by any means. Not the strongest.
And in all fairness, she actually started the season with I believe it was an ankle injury. She came out for the first probably 3 weeks of preseason, and she still had her foot in a boot, and so she didn't really get any warm up time to nothing, and then she kind of just got turned loose onto the season, and now you see the fight, the mighty fight, if you will. She does not back down.
Not at all.
She does not allow her size to. She's not one of those ones that complains about, my size this, my size that. She is in there, in the mix, in the fight, every ounce of the way.
Yep. But that's what you want to see from all the ladies. You want to see that from all the ladies. You want to see some of that feistiness, some of that grit, where, hey, I understand we're down 5-0, but when she's coming down that sideline there, I'm gonna put a body on her so that cross is terrible.
Yeah. Make them play it either later than they want, sooner than they want, or just mess it up completely and don't allow for that connection. Sadie with a good goal kick, kind of popped up over the midfield there.
Annalise looking to the wide areas there. Try the attack. Gets intercepted. Ball goes wide.
I'm pretty sure I could have fit a 3x5 card in how close that.
Possibly. And if you've watched NFL the last couple of years, that's how we measure, if you get a first down or not with a 3x5 card.
Shockingly enough, who knew that the 3x5 card is the same size as the yellow and red cards that we use at soccer?
It is. Absolutely.
Who knew that size of card would decide fate for multiple sports? Yeah, Whitney's over on the Owls sideline right now, getting kind of some warm-up touches.
So I'll be honest, right? I wouldn't be putting her back in. I think you got a young lady here that's been playing a heck of a match in Danica. It's a 5-0 match right now, right? Not totally out of hand. Nothing is out of question, right?
Right.
But she has played a heck of a game.
Yes.
So what?
I think
about
really
the psyche, and if you pull her out of this match, are you telling her you don't think she did good enough? Or you don't think she did enough?
So to be perfectly fair, the one thing that I could probably see is because Danica has had time on the field in that midfield area, in that the center defending mid or helping out with the attack. Excuse me. And so maybe to give some fresh legs to the midfield, might be probably one of the recommendations that I would make. And then, honestly, the only other major, from a coaching standpoint, the only other advantage I would see to putting Whitney back in is the height.
I think Annalise needs a break.
Well, even with that offsides play, Danica still came out and made a complete lights-out save.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean,
going back to what we were just talking about.
I'm not. If I'm coaching, I'm not pulling her out. I think of the psychology aspect of it, and what she's going through right now as a goalkeeper. She is probably playing the game of her life right now. She's never faced shots like this before. She's probably never faced an offense like this before. This whole team might have never faced a team like they're playing tonight. So to be able to stay out there and give it everything you got, it speaks volumes for her as a goalkeeper, as a young lady with her character,
And she played a phenomenal match, but like I said, from knowing that she's played in that midfield area, that there's the possibility of her turning around and getting rid of the orange and putting on the white again and coming right back out onto the field to kind of give some of these holding mids maybe a break, get her some minutes on the field.
Like
as a
I
freshman.
said, it looks like Annalise needs to catch a breather.
Got the amazing glove change going on down here.
I'm still ticking, though. All right, looks like Whitney is set, ready to rock and roll. She gives a thumbs up to the referee. Referee blows the whistle, and we play on.
Some nice overlapping work over there on that far side by the Lady Irish.
And by the Owls.
And they
defended that run down the field very well.
And they got to the 18, and that was as far as the Irish got. They really kept with that transition and really didn't allow the Irish to actually get the full attack really going. It just kind of bounced down the sideline, and they just kind of created that wall that we were talking about, that suspended defense, to really allow it not to fully develop.
That was well defended over here. I can't tell who that is. Is that Andy?
Yep. That's Andy down there at the left
number
back.
Number 21, Andy, the left back, just defended that so well, avoiding number 10 getting her foot on the ball. Good turn there by Annalise. Annalise has some space, and she can be dangerous in space. I want that runner, though, on the right side, on that outside wing there. I'd want that runner staying wide. I think she came in a little too much and brought another defender into the mix.
Annalise caught the raw end of that. Looks like she got stepped on there by 25 when 25 stepped in for the Lady Irish. Just caught her. It was a clean tackle. The ref just restarts with a drop ball back to the Lady Irish.
Yeah, sometimes there's a foot to an ankle, and it's not always a foul.
And that's one of those hard things, both of us being referees, we understand that, but trying to explain that often to the crowd.
Yep.
You can't really do it during the match. You can't just freeze the match and go, that's not a foul. It was just a clean tackle, and somebody often gets the
good defense up there by Nina to force the outside ball instead of the inside shot. Did give up a corner kick to the Lady Irish, but that is much better than the alternative with the ball being in the back of the net. The Lady Irish have not really, like I said, Tuesday night, they didn't really, capitalize on their corner kick opportunities tonight. Maybe.
And that's one of those things that as a coach, you look back and, you can run schemes and plays and work on your midfield and your attackers. But set pieces, I think, more times than not, when it comes to close games, set pieces really are what make the difference. Because if you've got a good corner kick and somebody who can really place the ball really well, and whoever it is that you have in the box, and making sure that they get free from whoever it is that's marking them on the attacking piece. But then at the same token, the Lady Owls out here getting this defensive set are really good.
Good job by Whitney there to take in that ball from distance.
A little bit of miscue came out the side of the foot there.
Yeah, it did not come off her foot right. Not the way she wanted to.
No, it came off left.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you to come up here with me, Chris.
That's what I'm here for. That's why I don't get paid the big bucks.
Kenley York was outrun there on that side.
See, and
ball goes in the back of the net for the Lady Irish.
So leading up to that goal, there was one thing that I kind of caught my eye as a coach, I guess, is when you look out there and you see a player that wants 4 or 5 feet from the goal, and the ball turns to their non-dominant foot, and rather than just cranking it off that non-dominant foot, they take the 2 or 3 extra touches.
Yep.
And they want to try and get it lined up onto their dominant foot. And it's like sometimes it's just a simple redirect off your non-dominant foot that makes the play.
Yeah, and honestly, as a defender, that close to goal, and then they're trying to turn it onto a dominant foot, I'm telling my defenders to come in hard.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting at 6-0 right now for the Lady Irish. Got a lot of Irish fans booing right now. The Piedmont team taking a warm-up lap around the track right in front of them. I will caveat that with it is not the adult fans. It is their student section, and that is a district rivalry. It happens.
It's got one of those. Just so you know, we're here. We ain't afraid, but we're here. And at least with a nice ball out wide.
Is that Joni over there?
Yep, Joni makes a clean touch.
Moving Joni to the right side of the field. I wonder if Coach saw a matchup or something she liked Joni to have over there.
Well, I know Maya Garcia, 15 down here on this left side. She's a strong left footer.
Okay.
And so she's got she can really, when she connects, it can really float and fly.
Good job by Kenley York to intercept that ball coming in, and Elise makes a turn on it. Just a little bit too heavy of a touch. Number 16, Emma Reinhart, trying to put some pressure on the defense. Once again, Bishop McGuinness working through the middle of the field.
And it's one of those things, the Lady Irish are finding a way to I don't want to say expose the passing lanes, but they're finding the gaps and
yes.
And Lady Owl's back here on the defensive posture, and Whitney comes up with a clean save, kind of a rolling shot, if you will.
So, score being 6-0, right? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, in my opinion, I do not think that the Lady Owls defense has played a terrible match.
No, absolutely not. And it's one of those things in any sport, really, where, you know, you can look at the scoreboard and you can say, you know, oh, yeah, well, it's so-and-so's fault. Or, you know, every time the ball goes in, you have those one or two players that start yelling back and forth. And it's kind of one of those things that I always remind my teams and players in general, and I even have said it a time or two while reffing when players kind of start yelling at each other, is, you know, there's 11 of you on the field. In order for it to get past the goalie, it has to get past the other 10 first.
Yep.
So there's nobody really to blame except everyone on the field. It's everyone's responsibility to prevent that from happening. It's not the goalies. It's not your center back, your wing backs. It's just one of those things that when it happens, that's when you start to look to those leaders on the field to keep the cool.
Yeah. And like I said, I just don't think they've played a bad game. Their defensive line, I like the way they have played this match.
And they've done a really good job, even of the recovery piece.
Yeah.
Getting pulled hard to one side and making that diagonal recovery to kind of block off whatever the cross may be coming in out of the wings or out of those wing backs that are coming up high from the defense. And they're doing a really good job.
And they scramble super well in the box. You know, because sometimes it's not always a good organized defense. Sometimes, you know, you got to depend on them being able to scramble and kind of fight. And there's Danica, looks like, as a left back now. So you may have been right. Coach just wanted her in the field. Is that Danica?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, down there left back.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, she made a couple changes. She swapped in Brianna over here on this left wing, and then looks like Abby Angley is playing over there, kind of as looks like a right holding mid maybe.
Yeah. So how huge would it be for just the confidence of the team, you know, this game ends 6-1?
It would speak volumes. I mean, for me, it's one of those things where I don't want to sound cheesy and say, you know, the glass is always half full.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, you know, look where you were and look where you're at now. And then you got to start looking at the middle school teams. So then you start looking at what your freshmen are going to look like next year.
Yeah.
And then you kind of, it's one of those, yeah, you lose your seniors, but then look at what your depth is or is not. I mean, in some schools, I'll be honest with you, you know, some have a really high potential coming out, and some have onesie-twosies, but sometimes those onesie-twosies are the ones that make or break a team.
Yeah.
That can be the missing chess piece. And it's really difficult sometimes to sit there and harp on it. You know, oh, yeah, well.
And how big is it also for these, you know.
Even for the
players,
seniors.
The players coming off the bench tonight, you know, getting these last 10 minutes of time.
Oh, and
12 minutes of time.
And it's one of those things where it's like,
experience.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so we made it, you know, last year. Okay, we'll stop talking about last year. Last year's over. But then we're looking right now. Here we are, you know, second round. And it's been a dogfight. They faced quite a few injuries over the season.
Second round playing against the defending state champions.
Yeah, and in reality, you're not doing bad. Like we already spoke about the defense playing phenomenal back there. I mean, yes, they are stout. They're undersized, but they make up for it for that little physicality, that ability to kind of create those.
Yeah, and honestly, if I'm going to pick out one part of the Lady Owls team that I would say this is what we need to work on, it's the midfield. Just being able to control the pace of play. I don't know if changing a formation would help or not, but maybe against certain teams. And
I will say this: it is one of those slight miscue
over there with Nina, but Nina gets back, takes a center back position, and that ball goes wide for Lady Owls goal kick.
I don't know if you ladies and gentlemen at home can see, but the Piedmont goalkeepers have an extremely bright uniform back there in the background.
Extremely bright pink.
Like there's neon, and then there's that pink.
So we got about 9 minutes left in the match. The Lady Irish up 6-0.
And Whitney's coming up here in these last couple of minutes. She's come up with some pretty hefty saves that are kind of keeping it interesting back here.
Yeah, she came to play.
And it's one of those things, as a goalkeeper, you can't get in your own head that, I've let 2 or 3, 4 or 5 X fill in the space here, number of goals by me. You just got to keep going, because you don't know what that save could mean going forward. And like I said, too, having 2 freshman goalkeepers who
are definitely up to task.
Hands down. I mean, like you already stated, here we are. Annalise with a nice...
Annalise jumping over to tackle. Gets the ball inside, and that one gets away from the goalkeeper. Can Michaela turn it onto her foot? Couldn't quite get her hips turned around. Gives a frustration shove. The referee called that one pretty quick. Kind of surprised the referee didn't pull a yellow card on that. Or maybe he's just thinking, look, 7.5 minutes left in the match.
Hasn't, in all honesty, there hasn't really been a whole lot of fouls.
And
It's been, I mean, the firm talking tos, yeah, I'm sure that's occurring. That happens every time. But it's one of those things, like you said, the little bit of frustration, but at the same token, as a ref, you're looking at the clock, you're looking at the scoreboard, you're looking at, the speed of play on the field. You're weighing a lot of stuff. It's not, a lot of people think we just, as referees, we go straight to cards or straight to,
Yeah.
And there's a lot that gets weighed on those decisions. It's not like.
I just thought situationally with the ball, played out where it is and just how she came at her.
I'll be honest.
Referees.
I heard somebody yell in the room next to us, and I looked, and so I didn't see the foul.
A lot of referees. I mean, it was pretty blatant into the back, pretty hard. But a lot of referees would go straight to the pocket on that. I'd look at the clock and probably, walk by the young lady and say, "Cut the crap, play soccer," something to that effect.
Oh, unlucky touch there up in the middle.
I think Sadie Garnett has played a heck of a game tonight, too.
Sadie has become probably, in some essences, the heart and soul.
Good turn there by Michaela. Michaela puts one up.
And
that goes wide, though.
I will say this about Michaela. When Michaela, she can strike from range. She, even on a wide open run, the other night I watched her. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier when you have the football field lines on it, because you can kind of gauge how far the ball is going to have to travel, and then you got to add the 10 yards for the end zone, and you're like, all right, carry the 1, divide by 2. But she does have a phenomenal foot when she really gets when it really connects.
That ball there was one of those ones that's always trouble for a goalkeeper. It's the floater that kind of, if it was on frame, it would have kind of floated right beneath the crossbar. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those slow motion goalkeeper going back, going, "Oh Lord!" But that would have been a big accomplishment, I think, for the Lady Owls.
Well, and that's one of those things where, moving small little pieces around, and kind of plugging in, and it's kind of exposed a couple things here.
Once again, the Lady Owls defense comes up big and doesn't allow a really decent shot on goal.
Yeah, that back line is doing absolute. I mean, don't look at the scoreboard. They're doing phenomenal work back there. They're not just letting stuff go by them. They're not really stabbing any more than you would expect.
Yeah.
They're doing a really good job of playing that suspended defense, just keeping the defenders in front. And that speaks volumes to the coaching staff this week, working, till 4:30.
Yeah, and not only that, just keeping their head in the game. The coaching staff keeping their head in the game.
Yeah.
It's 6-0. You have 4 minutes left. Realistically, realistically, you're not coming back at 6-0. You know what I'm saying, in 4 minutes.
Well, one of the things that
being able to keep your head in the game and still keep working is a big deal, because that kind of pushes forward to where you start next year.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of those things where you really start to focus on, at what point do you start focusing on next season? I know a lot of coaches that they'll start as soon as the season ends, regardless of what the playoffs look like. And then you've got the other ones that'll continue through the playoffs, and they won't really start talking about schemes or changing anything or doing anything different. And it's just one of those things that, like you say, getting some of these freshmen in here to get this experience, where they're going to have to step up next year. They stand the chance that they're going to be the go-tos for next year. And so understanding, and for some of them, this may be their first year playing soccer ever. Yeah. And they're just out there like, oh, yeah, we're in another game. And while you got the seniors that are out there going, yeah, but you don't understand, like, how far we've come. And
like, this is our game,
Yeah. And this is another one of those things that kind of, I don't want to say bothers me, when we're talking about defensive lines, is if we know somebody that's been shooting all night on a left or a right foot, it's really simple.
Turn them to the other one.
Turn them to the other foot. Like, it's one of those things. Like, all right, well, you've taken 5 shots on my goal. They've all come off your left foot. I haven't seen you do anything with your right. You only dribble with the one foot.
Yeah. So, 2 minutes left in the match. Tell us where the Lady Owls go from here. What do you tell the ladies after a loss like this, second round of the playoffs?
Like I told you earlier, Rich.
I got it in my mind, but I want to hear your idea.
It's one of those things where you take a squad where these seniors, they've been playing for 4 years, and you deal with the build up, but to completely go from second to last to now you're in your second round of your playoffs in one calendar year, speaks volumes. Like there's
started from the bottom, now we're here. Right?
It literally like drop that beat, let's get it. And it's just one of those things that and that's as a coach, as a dad, for players and a metaphorical dad to some of the kids on the field. Even it's one of those things that, like, you can't let a loss at any level. They want to be emotional. They're going to have their little emotion minute, and that's fine. And it's just one of those things where you can't feed into it as a coach or as a parent. Like, oh well, don't worry, kid, we'll get them next year. And it's like, well,
got big pressure down here.
Yeah, Michaela really came in on that one.
So my talk with the ladies would be, look, you have absolutely nothing to be ashamed about, right? You seniors, you haven't seen success until this year, and you brought it, right? You led this team to success. Those 2 center backs that are seniors, they led this team to success this year, But sorry, we were dealing. I was listening to the cheering from the booth next door, and that's the end of the match. Lady Owls have absolutely nothing to be disappointed about tonight. They played a heck of a match against one heck of a team. I mean, like I said at the beginning, I've seen some brilliant soccer out of the Lady Irish, and once again we saw it tonight. There's not very many holes to expose, and the Lady Owls did the best they could. And you know what? I'd be telling them, hey, we got next year. Let's come back and show them what's up.
And like I said, then you start looking at your tail end effect of who's coming up. Like we know what seniors are leaving. We got that part. But who's coming up that could really be the problem and the piece of the pie that are coming out of the middle school? Because you can start.
What freshmen do we have that can step into those roles?
And that's the other thing too is you've got the freshmen that are on the bench that don't really get a whole lot of play time.
Yeah.
And kind of come in to fill minutes or give breathers. And I mean, you've got that on any squad. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter what level you play. You've got the one or two that it's almost like a task that a coach looks for. Like, who can I put in the game? Who can keep me afloat? Who's going to keep the ball moving?
Yeah.
That I don't have to be like, oh, I don't want to put them in.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where, the Lady Owls have that depth. They've worked so hard this year, and it is unfortunate to end this way, but at the same token, speaks light years in magnitudes to the level of what they've come from 365 days ago.
They definitely made a huge turnaround. But, yeah, that's the end of the match, 6-0 for the Bishop McGuinness Lady Irish. We want to wish the best of luck to the Lady Irish moving forward throughout the playoffs, moving on to the state semifinals. And hopefully, I mean, I've become a fan. So hopefully the finals again. And, so anyways, it's Rich Frederick, Chris Balvans, and Samuel Frederick with the Oklahoma Sports Network. You're home tonight for Lady Owls Soccer, brought to you by the Lawton Real Estate Experts and the Outback Steakhouse of Lawton. Go to Outback Steakhouse, see Coach
Stevie, hungry now,
and let's go get some dinner. We'll catch you next year in our next broadcast of high school soccer. There might be something coming up between now and then, but be looking for it on Facebook. We are on Facebook Live, YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Prime, on the Oklahoma Sports Network app, on oksportsnet.com, on the web. So, I mean, there are plenty of ways to watch. We really appreciate you tuning in this year, and we look forward to a great outing from the Lady Owls next year.